Good morning, everybody. I had a customer PMing me at 3 o'clock in the morning and woke me up, so I went ahead and just got up for the day, and I need to re-wick, so I figured I'd do a video of it and show everybody how I'm wicking. That way everybody can see how I'm doing it. Hopefully it helps you guys. And yeah, I already got this piece of cotton in. Like I said, I use cotton bacon. You guys can use whatever you want. It doesn't matter what cotton it is. You just got to get the feel for how much you need. Get your cotton in there. I'll show you on the next one, but you want it just a little bit tight as you're pulling it through. You don't want it so tight you're yanking on your coils, but I trim mine right at the bottom of the O-ring, just like that. And this seems to work for me. I've been wicking it for, I think we went through a year of testing with it, so I've been wicking it for quite a while, and this just works for me. You know, it may not work for you. It may help you dial it in to where, you know, you get it down the very next time you do it. But you just pull your cotton off. Now, if you pulled the cotton in this direction on the first one, you want to pull it in the opposite direction, and the reason being is you're going to have your fat end with the other side short end, and then the fat end on that one with the short end of this one. That way you have an equal amount of cotton on both sides, where you don't have one side that's crammed, packed full, and the other side's a little bit loose. That's just a little bit too tight. So all I'm doing is just pulling a little bit off and then retwisting. Like, if you guys need help, just PM me. I'll help you. Just fair warning though, if you, like this last guy, like I said, it was 3 o'clock in the morning, my phone kept going off. I went over and looked, and it was just some douchebag from freaking Germany being a complete asshole for no reason, talking shit. And he's lucky he didn't get a picture of my wiener instead of me attempting to help him. But yeah, just hit me up and ask me. You know, I'll help you. I can't tell you how many people have had issues with the tank, and they were like, man, this tank sucks, and they actually PM'd me, and I helped them, and now they absolutely love the tank. You just gotta get your wicking down. That's all it is. Just like every tank that's ever been made, you just gotta get that wicking down. I take some tweezers, and I just kind of fluff them up like this at first, and then I flip to the left, right. I just want to space them out to where I can get a gauge of how much cotton I'm really looking at. So once you have it like that, I trim the sides even with the side of the tank. You see where I just always just right here, just give it a cut. Just like that. And then I trim just like the 30 mil. If you want to see how I do this more in depth, look at the 30 mil. I literally wick it just like I do the 30 mil, exception that I cut my cotton a little bit longer. But I just cut the bottom out like that. And I hold down the cotton on this side, and then I just start kind of raking it forward. That way I can get an even cut on it. You don't want to rake too forward or too much at first, because you don't want to pull cotton out until you see about how much you need. So I'm going to go ahead and take this and stuff it now. And when you're stuffing, it's just something you're gonna have to feel for the first time and get it right to know what kind of tension you're looking for as you're putting that cotton down in that hole. And that side's about perfect. I actually took a little bit too much cotton on this side, and I'll show you how to go ahead and correct that. There is one little bitty space it looks like it could leak, so we'll fix that in a second. I'll show you. Same thing. Go ahead and fluff it out. And just trim the side even with that. trim the side even with this side. I'm gonna trim a little bit of the reason I trim this back part is to keep this cotton from getting tight on this back lip back here, the back side of the channel right here. If there's too much cotton and it's wedged in right here, the cotton will seep into the freaking airflow right here. It will allow juice to just slowly leak in there. So I always trim this back side of the cotton, and that works for me. Like I really don't have seepage. I really don't have leaking. I can tell this side's gonna need a little bit more trimming. I'm just gonna rake it out like that. And then I'm gonna give it a nice flat cut. And go ahead and try stuffing and see what we're looking at. Yeah, this side's perfect. And take into account, as your cotton soaks up juice, it's going to expand a little bit. Not a lot, but it's going to expand a little bit. I'm actually going to leave it. I want to see if actually, I'm going to go ahead and show you. What you can do, like right here on this spot, it's hard to see because of my camera. It looks like there's a tiny little gap. What you can do is take little pieces of cotton, and you got to do this before you put juice on it, because once you put juice on it, it's set where it's at. It ain't going nowhere. But you can take these little pieces and just kind of put them on that gap you're looking at, and then kind of slowly tuck them. You got to be careful doing this though. You don't want to do too much, because then you'll have under wicking. But just like that. Alright, so that's how I wick it, and like I said, it comes out perfect every single time. Get rid of some of this cotton dust. I actually need to change. I've been so busy that my prototype here has the same prototype O-ring. I had never put the correct tank section O-rings on it, so I'm going to do that today. And I still don't get no leaking. I know people get frustrated. I understand. Like, we've all been there, man. We've all had a tank that the first few tries we tried building it, it just did not work, and we hated it. It was frustrating, but we've all been there. We've all been down that road, man. Just, if you want help, the help is always going to be there if you ask for it. If you PM me and you're an asshole, just expect the worst. I wonder. I don't think I can use the updated O-rings. I think this proto was before we made this change. These white O-rings from the test proto O-ring. So they're a little too thick for the channel there. I think we thickened up the channel, and I gotta stick with the old ones. And the old ones work freaking amazing for me. Like, I have no issues with them. Gotta figure out what I did with that old one. Left it in the kitchen. the updated white ones on there. Not bad. Probably what I'll end up doing is shaving the lip down a little bit on this tank section piece, because this is a custom milled piece, and I'll fix that later on. I'm not going to do that right now. So, if you have the updated O-ring on it, which you should, I'm actually going to go ahead and put a fresh one on there, just so I can show you guys. Look at that. Simple. Go over our wicking one more time. Make sure it's good and sitting in there right. So you can see where I completely close my juice flow off. See how it sits completely down to the bottom? Excuse me. Just like that. And what I do is I put just enough liquid to keep the wicks together while you're tightening down your everything on your tank to where it doesn't budge and it doesn't move. About like that. See how I left no juice in that bottom part? I don't want to put any juice in that bottom part. That's going to be crucial for the start of your tank. It's going to allow the tank pressure to be removed from the screwing down the top. Gotta leave yourself some play right there. Just like that. That's perfect. And then you just put your new O-ring on. What you want to do, you don't have to do this every time, but if you just put it on, just put a couple drops, and then just take your finger and just kind of move some juice around it. Take your top cap, line up your diamonds, give it a nice little wiggle to work that juice in. Just give it a push, and lock it over to the left. For the gasket, I personally don't need to, I never have to do the top gasket trick, and I'm actually going to do it and show it to you guys, and just so people can see all in one video how you do it. Like I said, it's not necessary. If you're having trouble getting your wicking down, then this will help you. But you take your gasket out, and the bottom part has a little lip. You want to remove that lip. Just take your scissors, same cotton scissors, and just cut that off. Again, this is not necessary. This isn't a have to do. This is a, you're struggling with your wicking and you need help. You know, it's going to help you. It's going to make the tank to where you don't have to get it so perfect every single time. But you guys just seen, I spent what, a total of 5 minutes wicking that, and it's going to be perfect. It's not going to leak. It's not going to, you know, I could hold it upside down. I could do all that crap and it's going to be fine. You just got to keep at it. What we do is you trim that bottom lip off and get it as flat as you can, and instead of putting it in open like this to where you could refill the juice through it, you spin it around to the opposite side and you completely cover up that juice port right here. And what that does is, if your wicking's a little loose or it's a little tight and, you know, whatever, it's going to completely prevent any air from being able to get inside the tank and cause you minor issues that would normally not cause if the wicking was, you know, dead on. But yeah, I personally don't have to do that. Some people do, some people don't. Nothing wrong with the tank if you do. There's nothing wrong with you if you have to do it. You know, it's just practice. You know, like I said, me and Nick Dumas, we both don't do that trick, and neither of us have leaking problems. But we've been building them the longest. We both had ours for a year or so, and yeah, we just don't need to use it. And most of you guys won't have to use that trick once you get it really down and you've built it for 6 months to 8 months. But got my juice. Go ahead and fill it up. Man, this thing takes a lot of juice. It drinks the juice, don't it? Like I said, the purpose of this video, I'm gonna do the tweak. Make sure I got it in there right. I never do this, so I don't know. Get it down in there. Gonna tighten your lid down, and then immediately open up your juice wells, and you'll see it starting to do its thing. What I do is, while it's sitting there bubbling like that, I open my juice wells and I just let it sit there. I let it sit for 10-15 minutes. I don't touch it. That way it gets good and primed. Everything is, you know, working itself out. But yeah, there's the wicking tutorial. I hope this helps some, and I'm pretty happy with the feedback I've gotten for the tank so far. You know, the O-ring thing sucked, and some people are just jackasses to be jackasses. They don't understand that, you know, every company has done it. Every company's had, you know, things slip through and they've had to fix it while it was out and, you know, being used. I've done everything I can to make it right, and I believe I have made it right for most people. And like I said, the feedback I'm getting is people absolutely love the tank. Once you get it wicked right and you get it performing like it's supposed to, and you get it down, it's a monster. This tank is an absolute monster. The only bad feedback I get is the people who get it that have really no experience with this style of building, like the Fatality, the V3, this, and they don't get it right the first time or second time, and they instantly just go off the rails. You know what I mean? They just 0 to 60 instantly. This tank sucks. This is trash. It's like, dude, I've had it for like 2 hours. You gave it 2 tries. Just keep at it. There's no way, you know, 400 or 500 people have gotten it down and it's working beautifully for them, and then you got the bad one. That's not happening. But I appreciate all you guys. You guys are awesome. I love that you guys are enjoying your tanks, and I'll catch you guys in the group.